Hello again there, YouTube fans. This is Real Creepy Dummy here. I'm back, but this is not a new episode. This is a tribute to do a video to pay my respect to someone. I'm not going to say who the person is, but before we get into that, it is April the 25th of 2025. Time is now 1:17 a.m. Okay, before we get into revealing who this person is, I'm going to say something to all the fans a little bit about this person. You wonder why the Real Creepy Doll Man was not on here for very many times for my anniversaries and doing all the videos for all the fans and the die-hard Real Creepy Doll Man fans. Well, I was busy taking care of somebody. I was taking care of my mother because she had taken care of me for many years. Since my mother was bedridden, I decided to take care of her because she had took care of me for all those years. And in doing so, this is my mother, and I'm dedicating this ordeal episode to her and her memory. And I was going to say this, that my mother had died on April the 9th of 2025, and she had died at 6:34 p.m. at the Hospice Hospital here in Louisville. Now, before I get ready into this, I'm going to do a poem for my mother, which I'm going to read here for all the fans. And I'm going to say this dedication I'm showing you here, these are the dolls that belong to my mother here. And each of these are what she had that she got from Sissy before Sissy had passed on. Now, before we get into doing this, I want to read a poem here. And I wanted to do this. And I'm going to dedicate this to anybody out there who's a mother, whether she's alive or has a person that had a mother that passed on. I wrote this one about my mother, but you had to understand it was about my mother is why I wrote this poem. I decided to wrote this poem before my mother's passing, when I was watching her deteriorate and slowly dying in front of me. So I decided to wrote this poem before she died. And yesterday she was laid to rest and been buried. Finally laid to rest because we had trouble getting the money together to bury her. So I'm going to go ahead and read this poem to all the fans. I'm not going to say my real name on here. So, what is a mother? I'm not going to say my real name. We'll just say by the Real Creepy Doll Man. I'm not going to give my real name out. And we'll begin with it. What is a mother? Her life is just begin coming from her mother's womb. She is just but one out of 7 of her children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. But one of the daughters that is considered to be a black sheep, an outcast, a loner, worthless. What is a mother? Grows up from an infant quickly to a very young woman, and fastly to an adult woman. As time passes by, whether she dates, marries, or not, she is still an independent mother as a wife, and to her 3 children, her 2 daughters, and her 1 beloved son. What is a mother? She is the one that takes care of her children, providing them food and shelter. She is the one that teaches her 3 children not to grow up into violence or to steal. She is the one that protects her children from strangers. What is a mother? As time speeds by, this mother faces life different, watching her 3 children grow up and have children of their own and their children's children. Now she is no longer just a mother. She is a grandmother and a great-grandmother too. What is a mother? Her life and journey is now coming to an end on this earth. One day her 3 children shall weep not in sadness, but rejoice in happiness, because she is now singing with the angels and with God our Father, and his beloved Son, Jesus Christ. May my mother go in peace, and may her spirit rest in peace too. Now, I have wrote that for my mother before her passing, and I wanted to dedicate doing that poem for her in this ordeal, telling my mother's way, how she expressed how the way she had lived. And I have wrote that this recently before she had passed. I took it hard when I wrote that, and I had to go back, and I went back and rewrote all of that and had to fix all the typos out of it. And then I took it to FedEx recently, and I had it, laminated. So I kept it, and, so I won't have to lose it never again. But I dedicate this episode to my mother for her passing this April. So anyone who lost a mother, or, if your mother's still alive, you need to pay better respect to your parents, because it says in the Bible, in the 10 Commandments, it's actually the 5th commandment. If you look at it, it says, honor your father and your mother. And if you're not doing that in the 5th commandment, then you broke your 5th commandment already. Not honor your mother, honor your father and your mother. But yeah, I wanted to say that, but I didn't get back to doing it. I try to honor my mother and father as well as I could, especially many times when I did honor my father, I couldn't be with him because he was always with his family, and they had him drinking himself to death before he died at a young age. And I do love my father, and after he passed on, I do love my mother too. I spent many times with my mother when my sisters wouldn't help me with her, and I did what I could to take care of her the best I could. So that's all I got to say. Now I say keep watching, more to come from the Real Creepy Doll Man. There will be new episodes. And before I go, I'm going to show this one last time, and I'm hoping you understand. Now, I didn't say a lot of things in this episode, but my mother has took care of me for many years, and we've been several places, and she had worked at the Printing House of the Blind. I want to let the people know that, and the people that used to know her there know that. And this is the Real Creepy Doll Man saying to all the fans out there, goodbye, and God bless you all.